Hello, this is Talking Europe. We are today at the European Parliament in Brussels. I'm Catherine Nicholson. Now, migration into the European Union has never been that far from the headlines over the past few years, not since a huge spike in the number of people seeking asylum within the bloc in 2015. Well, their number has now fallen drastically. In fact, irregular entries were down to about 140,000 a year, but migration does remain a political hot potato. Well, recently, the Moria camp for asylum seekers on the Greek island of Lesbos burned to the ground, highlighting the political deadlock and the human cost of the current status quo. Well, the European Commission has now come up with a new migration pact. Reactions from EU governments ranging from lukewarm to outright protest, however. We will be debating today whether the pact is a restart or a rebrand and whether it can work, of course. My guests today are Sandro Gozzi, who is a former Europe Minister of Italy, now a member of the European Parliament for the Renew Europe group of Emmanuel Macron. Hello, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
And I would say an MEP representing France, in fact, not Italy. And we also have, across from you, Jacek Saryusz-Wolski, a Polish MEP from Poland's ruling Law and Justice Party. Hi, thanks for being on the show.
No pleasure.
So I'd just like to start off really with the new migration pact itself, only a matter of days old at this point. It's built on three pillars: keeping people in their home countries, encouraging them to stay there, strengthening the external borders of the European Union, and then the third one, either deporting unsuccessful asylum seekers or distributing successful asylum seekers around the member states. Sandro Gozzi, I know that you've been welcoming these announcements from the European Commission. What is it that you like about this?
Well, I like, first of all, a very strong principle, which is also a goal of the pact, and that according to which when there are lives at risk at sea, you save them. Mm-hmm. You don't ask yourself who is responsible for doing what. You go there and you save, and I like because this is humanity, even before the politics. And we had a very positive experience for a few weeks, because then the COVID crisis broke up with the La Valletta agreement, an agreement in September 2019 between France, Italy, Malta and other countries that work well. Automatic distribution when you go and search and rescue people in the Mediterranean, and I hope that we can deepen that. I also like the fact that finally we are less naive. It is clear that we have to establish a stronger link between development and cooperation, aid and politics, and cooperation on migration between European countries and countries of origin. On that, we have to be much more efficient, and we have to put more effort and money for the return. It is clear that there are aspects which are pretty complicated to implement, and I think there is still much work to be done.
OK, so words in favour of the Migration Pact. Mr Saryusz-Wolski, what's your reaction to the announcements?
Well, the first and the second pillar are perfect. It's something which should have been done already a long time ago. I mean, solving problems where they are and strengthening the borders. So
you're not entirely opposed to this?
Sorry?
You're not entirely opposed to
No, I mean,
all of
first and second pillar is something which we've been proposing since long. I remember times when it was politically incorrect to say that we should strengthen the borders, that we should solve the problems in the countries of origin and so forth. So good for that, I mean, first and second. The disagreement is about the third pillar. The third pillar, which is forced or enforced relocation of migrants according to quotas to member states for repatriation or deportation, if you prefer, or settlement. In fact, it is the same as the old proposal in disguise, because everybody knows that it is not feasible to deport those people.
Why is it not feasible? Around about 40% of people are deported currently.
Statistics show that the rate of return, successful returns, today, all over the European Union, is 29.5%.
The European Commission says 40%.
No. I have other data, and they come from Frontex. And Frontex is based in Warsaw. So it's around 30%. So 70% is obligatory resettlement, relocation, something which was refused once, which was a failure, and which everybody says we'll never again come back to that. So it is coming back to the old system in disguise, which will be again a failure for various reasons, including that it violates the treaty. Article 79.5 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union says that migration is an exclusive competence of member states.
Well, that's
and
to
this
do
is
with
an attempt
migrants
to
who are coming
bypass
into the European Union
and to
looking for work.
violate the treaty itself. If we want to have such an ambitious
the wording of the treaty
pan-European
says,
migration policy,
can I just cut in?
We have
the wording of the,
to
I just want to
modify
cut
the
in.
treaty.
Excuse me. I just want to cut in on the treaty. It says that this is to do with third country nationals coming from third countries in order to seek work. That's not the same as an asylum seeker.
No, there's migrant.
Yes, but we're talking about relocation of asylum seekers.
No, the proposal is that they arrive in Italy and they are split into two. 99% asylum seekers do not get the status of asylum, and they are migrants, and they are treated according to the Pillar 3, and 1% gets asylum.
I think
so
we have
speak
different
about
figures
migrants.
because I have Eurostat figures that say 38% of asylum applications in 2019 were successful.
No, sorry, let's not quarrel about figures. My figure is around 30, but whatever it is.
Well, you're saying 1%.
No, 30%. Okay. 1% is 19. I counted the figures given by Frontex in their statistics on their official website. And all of them come from countries, there's no war, and there are purely economic migrants. And according to the Convention of Geneva definition, a refugee is somebody who escapes war or physical threat, and the status he is valid only on the territory of the first country he puts his foot. So those who come from Turkey are not refugees. Those who come from Libya are not refugees. And 99% or 98 or 99 are migrants.
OK, I think we have very different figures here because I've got figures from Eurostat, which say 38% of asylum applications are successful, and the main nationalities are Syrian, Afghan and Venezuelan. But we can disagree about figures and statistics all day, of course. But I'd like to come back to you, Mr. Gozzi. What do you make about what Mr. Saryusz-Wolski is saying about, you used the word forced redistribution of people around the EU?
I disagree totally. First, European Union can and must tackle asylum and illegal migration. This is absolutely what the treaty says, that we can, and I add we must, develop common policy for a better asylum right, for illegal migration. And I also think that we shouldn't forget a legally binding principle enshrined in the treaty, which is solidarity, which applies for asylum, applies for migration. Unfortunately, a country like Poland always violates this principle. I also disagree on the fact that the country of first arrival should bear the burden. This is the weakest point of the Migration Pact. I mean, the Migration Pact can make the Dublin regulation, the asylum regulation, more intelligent, but it doesn't go over the Dublin regulation as Skinas or Commissioner Skinas or President von der Leyen announced. And this, my view, is the weakest point, because I agree with the responsibility for the external border. And by the way, the proposal to create a European Coast Guard was done under the Italian presidency of the European Union in 2014. So I want to be more effective in managing the border, but I want to be more effective also in solidarity redistribution. And this is the point on which we are very, very far, but on which we have to move ahead, either with the agreement of everybody or by majority.
Well, on that point of solidarity, written into the proposal from the European Commission, it says that either people are redistributed to member states, or if member states do not want to take in people, then they can contribute to the cost of sending back unsuccessful applicants. Is that palatable to you?
No, it is not about contributing financially. It's about taking them and resettling them.
There are two options in the pact that were proposed.
In the given country. But the reality is that those not sent back will be by force settled in the country, whether it wants or not.
I'm just trying to put the point to you.
There
are two options in the pact, which are either you redistribute people to the member states, or you pay to help to pay for the
forced.
So what would you propose looking forward for migration? Migration is not going to stop, let's be honest.
Well, if it is a common task to solve the problems in the countries of origin, to safeguard the frontiers, let's make it also the common task of EU as such to send them back by Frontex, but not send it back, push it back to the member states.
This is already foreseen.
In contradiction with the treaty.
Let's let Mr. Gozzi
one of the points. The point that, I mean, either you have a comprehensive approach which covers a better management of external border, a common endeavour to send them back, those who are not entitled to stay in the European Union, and also to act in a solidarity way for the asylum seekers and which are in the European Union. Either we keep together these three pillars, or we'll never reach an agreement. And it is too easy to say, I agree only on the part where we send them back. Of course, we have to send them back with those who are not the right to stay in the European Union. But there are asylum seekers who, by international law, before then by European law, can and must stay in our European Union. And on that, there is this refusal by Poland, by Hungary, which to me is totally unacceptable. We are in a common space. We want to preserve common freedom. We want to preserve freedom of movement. We want to manage an area of peace and prosperity. And then, when it comes to doing their part on asylum, they say no. But this is totally unacceptable. This is against the spirit of the European Union and also against the treaty.
All right, unfortunately, we're out of time. I can see there are clear differences, many more arguments and debates to be had on this topic. But thank you both very much for contributing, telling us your points of view on this political hot potato, as I called it. Thanks to you as well for watching. Hope to see you soon for more European news on France 24.